All right, thanks, guys. The Kings take on the Wizards, 7 o'clock Eastern tip-off in the nation's capital. Washington open -3, total open 240.5. And since this one opened up, we're seeing a slight fade of Washington when it comes to the spread. We're also seeing movement upward when it comes to the total. That line moved up to 241.5. Spread moved down to -2. So once again, the Wizards open 3, down to -2. Total open 240, up to 241.5. And at the moment, Sacramento's plus 105 on the money line. Now the Kings have failed to win outright in 6 out of their last 9. They're just 3-6 straight up in their last 9 ball games. They're also just 2-4 against the spread in their last 6. They rank dead last in defensive rebounding. They're also covering just 41% of their games as the official road underdog. Now, Washington, on their side of things, they're 10-5 against the spread, taking on teams between 450 and 550. Their offense is also putting up 118 points per contest on their home court. Now, when it comes to the scoring, Sacramento's 6-1 to the under in their last 7. I'm going to lean Washington -2. And the under 241.5 in that matchup there. And before we go ahead and move on, just want to take a quick timeout and just welcome you to the show. Got some lines and personal leans out for Monday's NBA, college basketball, and NHL action. It's Monday. I'm not going to sugarcoat it. Mondays absolutely suck, but we're going to make up for it. One, by working this out together, capping some games together. I appreciate you tuning in, but also, we're going to win these things. We're going to get a couple W's on the board for us. Before we go ahead and move on, though, I just want to quickly remind you to check me out on my website. That's patreon.com/BrockPage. And I'll tell you what, we've been doing absolutely amazing in the past couple of weeks. Go ahead and check out my current record in those categories on patreon.com/BrockPage. That's a part of the free content, so you'll be able to access that just by going to the website. And we also give out a free, not a free one, but a daily play. It's called the Daily Best Play. It only costs $1.99 per month. So with as good as we've been doing in the NBA and in all sports, you're certainly costing yourself some valuable information each and every day you're not subscribed to that website. Link is in the description section below, so if you want to take a look at that, just click the link. And if you are a current patron of mine and you're watching me right now, I simply cannot thank you enough. You most certainly make it all worth it. All right, let's go ahead and hop back into some more lines of personal leans. All starts Eastern Standard Time. Next game, Raptors at the Cavaliers, 7 o'clock tip-off in Cleveland. The Raptors open 10.5, total 221 and a hook. Not a whole lot of movement in this matchup here. We've seen a little move toward the over when it comes to the total. But once again, Toronto open and remains -10.5. Total open 221.5 up to 222. 73% are leaning Toronto, 80% shaded toward the over. Right now, the Cavs are plus 460 on the money line. Now, Van Vliet is still out with that thumb injury for Toronto. Meanwhile, for Cleveland, we have Thompson, Henson, Dellavedova, and Larry Nance all out for tonight's action for the Cavaliers. Cleveland's also won just 10 out of 34 straight up on their home court. They're also winning just, 12 out of, looks like 59 straight up as the dog. Yeah, 12 and 47 straight up as the dog is Cleveland. They rank dead last in field goal percentage. They rank dead last in defensive field goal percentage. Their opponents are shooting 49% from the field. Cleveland's also covered just 7 out of 22 games, taking on teams over 550. Now, Toronto, they're 8-2 against the spread in their second of a back-to-back this year. They also rank first in the NBA in road scoring. They also rank 4th in defending the 3-ball on the road, and they rank 6th in road defensive rebounding. Now, total-wise, Toronto's 4-1 to the over in their last 5, 7-3 to the over in their last 10. Cleveland, on their side of things, well, they're 5-2 to the over in their last 7, 7-3 to the over in their last 10. Give me Toronto -10.5 and the over 222 in that matchup there. And I believe that we are on day 3 or day 4 of, what is it, Hook Gate? or Hook Fest. Anyway, we committed to not buying the hook a few days back, and I think we're on day 3 or 4. Let me know in the comments section below. I lost count. But and what did I name it? It's not Hook Fest, is it? Hook Watch. I think we called it Hook Watch. But anyway, we are not buying the hook. We are not buying the half a point until we lose one by a half a point. All right, next game. It is going to be, what do we have? Pistons, Nets, 7:30 tip-off in Brooklyn. The Nets open 3.5, total 222 and a hook. We're seeing pretty good movement on this game. We're seeing movement downward on the spread. We're seeing movement downward on the total. Brooklyn's now -2. Total moved down to 221.5. So once again, the Nets open 3.5 down to -2. Total open 222.5 down to 221 and a hook. 52% are leaning Detroit. 65% shaded toward the over. Right now, the Pistons are +110 on the money line. Now, Brooklyn's got a couple of guys banged up here. Shabazz Napier is questionable for tonight's action. Graham's also questionable with that back injury. Meanwhile, Detroit, wow, what can I say? 8-1 straight up in their last 9, 7-1 against the spread in their last 8. They're ranked 6th in the defensive rebounding. They're also 6-3 ATS in the second of a back-to-back. Now, Brooklyn, they've covered just 8 out of 18 as the official home favorite. They also rank 24th in offensive field goal percentage. The Nets ranked 22nd in offensive rebounding, and they failed to cover in 5 out of their last 6 games. Now, total-wise, Detroit's 4-1 to the over in their last 5, 8-2 to the over in their last 10. Give me the road dog in this matchup here. I'm going to lean Detroit +2 and the over 221.5 in that matchup there. Next game, Hornets, Rockets, 8 o'clock tip-off in Houston. The Rockets open -10, total 226.5. We're seeing movement downward on the spread. We're seeing movement downward on the total. That line moved down to 225.5. Spread moved down to -9. So the Rockets open 10 down to -9. Total open 226.5 down to 225 and a hook. 70% are leaning Houston. And at the moment, Charlotte is +325 on the money line. Now, Michael Kidd-Gilchrist is questionable with a knee injury for Charlotte. They've also failed to cover in their last 4 straight. Charlotte's just 1-7 against the spread in their last 8, 2-6 straight up in that same category. The Hornets ranked 28th in road field goal percentage, shooting just 43% in that category there. They're also covering a measly 14% of their games that tipped off at the current point spread. Now, Houston on the other side, they've successfully covered the number in 3 out of their last 4. They're also 5-3 against the spread in their last 8. The Rockets ranked 7th in home scoring, averaging 117 points per contest in that category there. Now, total-wise, Houston 71% to the over in their games that tipped off at the current posted total. They're also 6-3 to the over in their second of a back-to-back this year. Meanwhile, Charlotte is a perfect 8-0 to the over in their games at the current posted total themselves. Give me Houston -9 in the over 225.5 in that matchup there. Next game, Thunder at the Jazz, 9 o'clock tip-off in Utah. The Jazz open 3, total 227.5. We're seeing movement upward on the spread and downward on the total. Right now, Utah's 3.5, total 227. Once again, the Jazz open -3, up to -3.5. Total open 227.5, down to 227 even. 51% are leaning OKC, 67% shaded toward the over. Right now, the Thunder +130 on the money line. Now, Rubio and Nato are both questionable for Utah. The Jazz also failed to cover in 2 out of their 3 games versus OKC. They're just 1-3 against the spread in their last 4 and ranked 20th in offensive scoring. Now, OKC on the other side, completely different story. They rank 1st in offensive rebounding on the road. They also rank 4th in road offensive scoring. They're averaging 115 points per contest in that category there. OKC's also 10-7 against the spread when catching the points, and they are 13-8 ATS, taking on teams over 550. Now, total-wise, OKC's 21-14 to the under on the road, 6-2 to the under in their last 8 at any location. Give me the road dog in this matchup here. I like OKC +3.5 and the under 227 in that matchup there. Next and final game for our NBA slate, it is going to be Boston at the Clippers, 10:30 tip-off in LA. Boston's -1, total open 227, all the way down to 225.5. 68% are leaning Boston, 62% shaded toward the over. And at the moment, the Clippers are -105 on the money line. Now, if you like Boston in this matchup here, just keep in mind Jason Tatum is questionable for tonight's action. Boston's also failed to cover in 5 out of their last 8. They're just 13-20 ATS on the road this year, and they rank 23rd in road offensive rebounding. Now, the Clippers on their side of things, they rank 2nd in shooting the 3-ball. They're shooting 38% from downtown. They're also 1st in defending the 3-ball. Their opponents are shooting just 33% from downtown themselves. So really, LA just holding it down on the perimeter. LA is also a perfect 6-0 against the spread in their last 6. A little 6-game winning streak ATS. They're also 7-2 straight up in their last 9. 18-13 against the number on their home court. Now, when it comes to scoring, the Clippers are just 38% to the over in their games that tipped off at the current posted total. Meanwhile, Boston just 14% to the over in their games that tipped off at the current posted total themselves. Give me the Clippers +1 and the under 225.5 in that matchup there. All right, we're going to go ahead and slide into some college basketball. I have 3 games to take a look at. So let's go ahead and begin with Green Bay at Wright State. 7 o'clock tip-off at the Little Caesars Arena. That is a neutral site game. Little Caesars Arena in Detroit, or Auburn Hills, whatever you want to call it. But anyway, Wright State opened the betting as the 6.5-point favorite, total at 149.5. And since that one opened up